Is this like a take on real history? Hello fellow anime geeks and welcome to another video chronicling my journey to try every anime series that I can. I got my usual 4 questions ready, and today I have an interesting anime adaptation of a 2016 modern Japanese translation of an old medieval text, Heike Monogatari, or the Heike Story on Funi. Mal just lists one theme tag, historical, and apart from telling us that this is based on a book, there isn't a lot more information than that. I think that this medieval epic tale that this is based on is just such an important literary and historical work that probably most Japanese people are at least aware of it. This anime adaptation inserts a new point of view into all of the accounts, kind of like how Grendel reimagined the epic tale of Beowulf, but from the monster's perspective. This is still very much an epic though. All of the statements on morality carried over from the original accounts, the art, the beautiful mixture of muted colors, textures, and painting-like character designs, everything just feels like this wonderful homage to Japanese culture and history. Much like La Chanson de Roland, which I had to look up for my review of Vanitas, the subjects of Heike Monogatari were indeed real people, the clan Taira, which fought for control in 12th century Japan. Turns out Hei is actually an older reading of the first character in the family name Taira. After a very quick read of the first few chapter notes, it does seem like this adaptation includes all of the events of the original accounts, all of the intrigue, all of the confusing power plays. I don't get what's going on. All of the marriage alliances using the young Taira daughters, and all of the events that would ultimately lead to the demise of this clan. But very intelligently so, all of this chaos is sort of grounded by our fresh perspective, our young protagonist Biwa. She gets sort of taken in by the family and is therefore in a perfect position to witness all of the sins of the Heike. Which brings me actually to all of the very unique and creative, interesting storytelling techniques and references in this show. Biwa is not only named after the instrument she plays said instrument, and her song is closely related to her supernatural ability to be able to look into the future. All of the important points in the plot are actually punctuated by a connection to her future self, where she is looking back, regretfully thinking of all of the events in the past in singing prose, which I think are just excerpts of the original text. So we're seeing not only the historical events that were written within the text, but we're also seeing the history of the text itself. Like most epic tales around the world, Heike Monogatari was sung in prose, and what accompanied that song? You guessed it, the biwa. Also, in the history of the formation of this text, it's believed that the priest that first jot everything down conferred with a blind man who was in his care who played the biwa. Who's the first character we meet in this anime? A blind man carrying a biwa. And the fact that the first sung prose that we hear in the anime is actually the first line of the epic that's just so cool. And yet, I have to say, despite geeking out over all of this awesome historical significance, I don't think this one is for me. This reminds me of my experience with Katanagatari. It was beautiful, it was a celebration of a certain aspect of Japanese culture, and my completionist self stuck it out and finished it out of respect for the work. But nowadays, if I'm not really having fun after giving it a good try, I'm allowing myself to stop. However, if you are more intellectual with your media choices, or if you just love historical literature, or if you just want to see a beautiful representation of Japanese culture and history, you might like this one. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. Oh wow, I like the art. Ah gosh, that's pretty. That was the introduction to the story. What the crud? I've got freaking goosebumps.